Hello and welcome back to another chess classic, ladies and gentlemen. This one was played in 1912 between two chess legends, Alexander Alekhine playing as white and Akiba Rubinstein playing as black. You all know Alexander Alekhine was a former world chess champion and one of the greatest players of all time. Akiba Rubinstein was a chess grandmaster and one of the best players of his time. Unfortunately, he never received a world chess champion title. But nevertheless, this game is truly a classic you don't want to miss. Akiba Rubinstein playing at his best against young Alexander Alekhine. So without further ado, we will go straight into the game. Alekhine opened the game with e4, we have e5 for black, we have knight f3, knight c6 and bishop b5 on the board. We are in Spanish game. We have a6 for black, pushing away this bishop, and bishop a4 played for white. Black continues with knight f6, right now attacking this pawn, but white castles peacefully. Game continued with knight picking up on e4. Although black just won a pawn, white has the advantage in the development, and he also has moves like rook e1 in this position or d4, which is the sharpest line. Of course, white's idea is to play for this king that is still unsafe. Game continued with d4 for Alekhine, and we have b5 played for Rubinstein attacking this bishop. We have bishop b3, and right now d5 is played for black to protect this knight in the center. We have d picks up on e5, and after bishop e6 for black, white decided to play c3 with the idea to block any kind of attempts of attacking this d4 square. Black continues by bishop e7, he continues his development and he wants to castle later in the game. Knight b to d2 was played for Alekhine. Alekhine offers a trade and he wants to remove this strong knight. Rubinstein of course doesn't want to do that and he plays knight c5, right now attacking this bishop. This bishop is really strong in the Ruy Lopez opening, and since c3 is played, white will save his strong white squared bishop and he plays bishop c2. Our game continued with bishop g4 right now. The threat for black is to pick up this pawn for free as this knight is pinned. And now we have firstly h3 played for white, bishop h5 played for black, and right now slight mistake by white, which is queen e1. Yes, Alekhine was scared of this pin here, and that is the reason why this move is played, but actually much better after bishop h5 was actually to play rook e1 and still to continue this advantage of this pawn you just gained in the center. So this is the idea that white should pursue, but queen e1 was played, and right now a knight e6 was played for Rubinstein. Rubinstein wants to either put this knight here on f4 or to still keep this knight there to support the advancement of this d4 and d5 pawn. We have a knight to h2 played by Alekhine, another slightly dubious move. The game is equal. Alekhine's idea is to push g4 and then to open with f4 and later maybe push away these light pieces of black. Game continued with bishop g6. Right now Akiba offers a trade of bishops and white picks up this bishop, but right now we have f takes on g6, which is a rarity until this time. You usually pick with h picks up on g6, but Akiba Rubinstein saw that right now this rook can come on this f file, on the semi-open f file, and take advantage of that. That is the reason why f takes on g6 was played. Game continued with knight to b3 now for Alekhine. Alekhine wants to put this knight on a better square, of course, and we have a g5 played by Akiba Rubinstein. With g5, black simply doesn't allow f4 to be played for white. We have bishop e3, so Alekhine completes his development, and finally we have castle for black. Now, of course, after bishop e3, if knight takes on e5 is played, then bishop d4 is a really nasty move that right now leaves a lot of weaknesses. Firstly, this knight is then weak, and probably black would have to pick up this, but after this queen picks up on e5 would be played, and it would mean a lot of trouble for black in this position, so taking it is not good, although it seems that so. So after castle we have knight on f3 played by Alekhine. Alekhine now realizes that he's quitting his old plan and he wants to pressure this pawn. We have queen to d7 here played for black, and right now crucial mistake played by Alexander Alekhine, which is queen to d2. Now Alekhine simply overlooks the attack of black and he misses this incredible rook sacrifice. Right now rook picks up on f3 is played by Akiba Rubinstein. Alekhine obviously has to accept this with g picks up on f3, and right now knight picks up on e5. First threat is to pick up this pawn and to fork a king and a queen, so you have to defend somehow. Queen e2 was played for Alekhine, and right now black continues with rook to f8, again pressuring this pawn. Also what black's idea is to remove this knight to square like f4 and then invade with his queen on h3. This is the main idea because this king is weak. We have a knight to d2 right now in the attempt to protect this pawn, but knight g6 is played for black with this idea of putting these knights on f4 and then attacking this pawn. We have rook f2 e1 with the idea to involve queen in the defense of this king and going on f1, of course. Black now plays his final preparation move for the attack, which is bishop d6, cutting away the last escape for this black king on this black diagonal. Now we have f4 played by Alekhine, and right now we have another sacrifice. Knight e takes on f4 here. Attacking this queen, black is pretty much powerless. He doesn't have anything to do, and he decided to play queen f1 in this position to try and defend what can be defended. Game continued with knight picking up on h3 check, and after king goes on h1 black continues with g4 to protect this knight and also to prepare a square for this queen here and then invade on h5. We have queen to e2 played by Alekhine, and after queen f5 for Akiba Rubinstein, Alexander Alekhine resigned the game because he realized there is nothing you can do against queen h5 threat here. I will of course show you. So firstly, after queen f5, if you decide to go with queen f1, then after queen h5, right now if you decide to move your king away from this threat, for example like g2, then we have knight g to f4 with a check, and after bishop takes on f4 we have knight picking up an f4 check, and after king goes on g1 we have knight to e2 check. Now sacrificing your knight, whatever the white does, you cannot stop a checkmate. For example, if you go rook picks up on e2, then queen h2 is checkmate. So after knight to e2, if you pick up with your queen, then queen to h2 check, king f1, and queen h1 is the checkmate. So after queen f5, if you decide to go king g2 right now, then knight h to f4 is a deadly fork and you simply will lose your queen after knight picks up on f4, and this is clearly a game won for black. And this is how this game ended, and this is all I have prepared for you today. If you enjoyed this game, please make sure to leave a comment, like, and share this video with other people who enjoy chess, because this really helps the organic growth of my channel, and I really appreciate you guys. I couldn't do this without your help. Also, if you feel like donating, if you feel like this game brought you some value, you can tip me in the proportion you think it's valued. I will leave the PayPal link in the description below, and each new donation will be of course listed in each of my new videos here as you see them on the screen. Also, please let me know your questions and your thoughts about this position. Do you know this opening? Do you know this game? Have I missed something in the analysis or something else? Simply, if you want something to ask, feel free to do so. I always enjoy reading your comments, as you all know that, and I'm always happy responding to them. Thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a pleasant day. Bye bye.